Welcome to Chapter 6, Tactical Weapons. Games between improving players aren't decided by deep strategy. They're decided by patterns like these: the pin, the fork, the Greek gift, the smothered mate. The goal isn't to memorize them, it's to recognize the shape one move before it appears. 8 weapons. Load them. Nearly every combination ever played is built from 3 parts: the pin, the fork, and the check. Learn to see the parts, and the combinations start assembling themselves. Here's the family working together. The knight checks. And it's a fork at the same time. Royal edition. The king must step aside, he has no choice in the matter. And the knight collects the rook in the corner. The check forced the answer, the fork chose the prize. 2 building blocks, 1 free rook. The most famous sacrifice in chess, the Greek gift. The pre-flight checklist: your bishop aims at the castled king's rook pawn, your knight can join the attack in 1 hop, and your queen has a clear road to the king's wing. All 3? Give the gift. Bishop takes the pawn, check. The king accepts. Knight leaps in with another check. The king backs off, and the queen arrives, threatening mate down the file. A whole bishop invested in an attack that now plays itself. The defender must find only moves for the next 5 turns, and club players almost never do. Pattern number 1 in the attacker's toolbox. Capablanca's rule for choosing between sacrifices: prefer the one that drags the king forward. What follows is the ultimate expression of it: the complete smothered mate machine, one of the oldest recorded combinations in chess. Knight check, the king slides back. Now double check, the most forcing move in chess. The king must go to the corner, no piece can block or capture for him. And now the queen sacrifice, planted right beside the king. Only the rook can take her. And the knight returns to deliver mate. The king entombed by his own defenders. The queen was the price. The pattern was the weapon. Same finish, different lens, because the lesson is bigger than one pattern. When you have the king hunted, every single move must ask a question. 1 quiet move, and the defender breathes, untangles, escapes. Question. Forced answer. Mate. That's a mating net, a chain of questions where every answer shrinks the cage. When you're attacking, audit each candidate move. Does it check, capture, or threaten mate? If not, find the one that does. The net only works when it never stops tightening. Now, the weapons combined. In chess's oldest recorded brilliancy, 400 years old and still winning games today. It begins as a completely normal Italian: develop, castle. Black grabs a pawn and checks, playing for material. White offers a knight, black takes. Then white offers the corner rook itself, and black takes that too. Here is the whole philosophy in 1 move. The queen steps out, aiming at the weakest square. Every capture black made was a move not spent on defense. White has been buying time with material. And now the bill arrives. Bishop crashes into the weak square. The king staggers. Every white piece joins with a threat. Bishop pins. Knight leaps to the center. The queen checks. Black's extra material sits at home on the far side of the board, spectating. The defenders get peeled away 1 trade at a time. The pawn cover disappears, and the queen walks in. Checkmate, with nearly everything black captured still clutched in his hands. The corner rook is the most expensive free gift in chess. When your development leads, ignore the rook. Take the king. A quieter weapon now. No sacrifice, no fireworks, just a piece placement that poisons your opponent's whole plan. 1 wing pawn step opens the door, and the bishop slides to the edge of the board, where it does something no central square offers. It rakes the diagonal straight through the enemy camp and covers the king's castling square. The king is stuck in the center. Indefinitely. Park the sniper, keep the position tense, and every file that opens now opens onto a king with no house. Watch black's kingside knight. Just developed to its most natural square, the one every beginner book recommends. Nothing looks wrong with it. 1 pawn push, and that knight is in trouble. Attacked with tempo, and every square it can reach is worse than the one it's leaving. It must move again, a full move donated to white. The weapon points both ways. Before you post a piece, ask which enemy pawn can kick it, and when your opponent posts one carelessly, kick it and pocket the free time. The final weapon is knowing when not to fire. The famous queen pin, bishop pinning knight to queen, is genuinely strong, at the right moment. This is the wrong one. The enemy king hasn't castled yet. Because the king is still home, those kingside pawns are free to charge. They poke the bishop, chase it down the ladder, and keep coming, rung by rung, gaining time with every step. Black gets a raging pawn storm made of the very pawns that would have been shielding a castled king. The rule? Pin after they castle, when pushing those pawns would cost them their shelter. Same move, opposite result, timing is the weapon. That's Chapter 6. Every weapon here lives free at mated.gg. Step through the boards, then hunt the same shapes in our puzzles until they're reflexes. One chapter left, the winning habits that make all of it stick. See you there.